Good morning, VIP chat room. Welcome to my YouTube channel, FOREX. If you're still a new member of this channel, I ask you just to subscribe at this time so that you can get notifications of all video that I'm going to make for you. So one of the most asked question is about, should I use stop loss, or it's stop loss having any advantage, or it is something that it is not something that is you must use. It is something that is just optional. And today I'm going to reply to this question through this YouTube channel. Using stop loss or not using stop loss, this has been one of the main discussion, especially among the forex traders, and some of the forex traders agree to the statement that stop loss is very essential, is very important when it comes to the forex market trading. But some says no, because it can also be used at the hunting by the market makers. And today I will just go straight. And if you have been also in dilemma about this concept, today I'm going to make sure that everybody knows. First of all, I can say it is yes, but also it is no. And from these explanations, I'm sure you're going to understand why I have said it is yes or no. So yes or no, why? First of all, let me say the first point, I can agree to that statement, that it is very important we should use the stop loss. Why? Because when you are trading in the forex market, there is something known as risk to reward ratio. And if you're not following that principle, that means that you're like doing what we call gambling. Okay, if you're just trading without knowing what you're risking and what you're going to get, what is your reward, that means you're gambling. Therefore, in any trade that you're going to execute, you must know that in this trade I'm going to risk 2 pips so that I can get a reward of 4 pips, and that is risk to reward ratio of 1:2. Okay, and in your risk management skills, one of the very essential part of this risk management skills is about having the principle whereby you might have your own principle that in every trade that I'm going to trade, I can only risk 20 pips, for example. Okay, so if you find a trade is having more than 20 pips at the risky, that means the stop loss is more than 20 pips, that means you cannot execute that order. Okay, so that means that when you're trading use a stop loss, what you're going to do, you're going to entirely applying risk management principles and skills, as explained also in other video that I explained here. So that means it is very important too. But I said no because I have a reason why. Because we have people in the market, the bourgeoisies, those big boys known as market makers. Okay, and sometimes people call them the inner circle traders. Okay, so these are the traders, these are the market maker, these are the people who are having a lot of money, and they're able to entirely change the direction of the market, as long as they accumulate their energy and say, yeah, let's buy now. So if they buy, that means what you're going to see, it is the upward direction. You will find the candles are going up. Okay, and because these people are the business people, that means what they are doing is to make sure that they are making money in the forex market. And therefore, if someone doesn't know on how to fight with them, on how you can manipulate them, that means you're going to lose. Okay, one of the very essential part that they use so that they can manipulate your trades and they can accumulate a lot of money, they are doing something known as stop hunting. Okay, stop hunting. What is stop hunting? For those who knows about the market makers method strategy, this is where now we find always there are some sessions whereby the market makers do what we call stop hunting. Stop hunting is whereby now the market maker make sure that they hunt your stop loss, they make sure that you are in a loss, and therefore sometimes stop loss is used at the point of stop hunting. You can find the direction that you had was very correct, but what happened now, just one candle stepped down, it went down and hit your stop loss, and then you could see the direction was very clear that it was upward, but still, even though you bought, but what happened, your stop loss was hunted. Okay, that means stop loss sometimes it is something which is not advantageous to you, especially when you don't know how to use it. Okay, so how should you use a stop loss? A stop loss should be used very smartly. Okay, it must be used very smartly and carefully. Okay, for example, when you want to trade in any pair, you must know how does the market makers work. You cannot go to the battle without knowing your enemy. Okay, so if you know your enemy, that is just easy, that is very easy. It means you're going to fight with your enemy knowing the tricks and knowing how he's going to fight against you. And if you're not aware of the tricks of the enemy that you're going to fight with, that means you're going to lose. Okay, that is the same when it comes to the forex market. If you're not aware of your enemy in the battle, that means you're going to lose. So the first thing that you have to know what we call the market makers circle. If you're not aware of the market makers circle, that means you're going to lose because you're not aware of the market makers principles. Okay, so the first thing that you have to know always in the morning, whereby we have the Asian cycle, the Asian session, what happens, there is always what we call consolidation. Consolidation is whereby now you find the candles are moving between 20 to 25 pips, whereby now what is done there is manipulation. So at that point, it is not a good point for you to enter in the market. So you have to wait till this consolidation ends, this manipulation ends. After there, what happens now is what we call the stop hunting session or manipulation session, whereby the market makers now tries to manipulate you to execute trades in a long direction, so that most of the people can think today's trend is maybe upward, and you find they are just manipulating you so that you can buy, but the trend of the day is downtrend. Okay, so at this point is whereby now they do what we call stop hunting, and this is where now most of the people loses a lot of money because they are not aware of this market makers method. How does the market makers work? Okay, so if you know now that at that point, that at this point, at this time, that is stop hunting, you have to be aware that you're going to lose at any time, because your stop hunting, your stop process will be hunted. Okay, so you will lose if you're not very careful. So after that session, then they released that is where we call the trend release. Trend release is whereby now market makers released the true trend of the day. If the day is going to trend upward, that is where they're going to release the true trend. And if you are in a long direction, that means your stop loss will be hunted and you are going to lose your trades. That's why most of the time I advise people to trade not in Asian circle. You can start with other sessions which are very useful, European sessions, New York and others. Okay, so that is a very nice point that you must know. So stop loss is not something that you can say it is not useful. It is very useful, but sometimes it is used by the market makers as a trick to trick you. Okay, then the reality is that if you're not using stop loss and you're still someone who is not very accurate in your trade, you're going to lose. You're going to blow your account. Why? Because if you have 10 trades and you find that in your 10 trades you have only you have 7 trades which were in profit and you have 3 trades which were in loss, and if you were using risk management skills plus the stop loss, you had your risk reward ratio maybe 1:2. Even if you lose through trades, okay, that means you have lost it. For example, let's say you are using your risk is only 20 pips, okay, so you have lost 3 orders, okay, 3 orders, you have lost 3 orders. That means you have lost 60 pips, but you got a profit on 7 trade. That means you won 7 times maybe 40 if your risk to reward ratio is 1:2, okay. 7 times 40 is equal to 208, okay. So take 208 minus, okay, minus 60, you're going to get 220 pips. That is profit, okay. That is profit. That is where you're going to get profit. Let's take another example. For example, if you had 10 trades, okay, you had 10 trades and you got 5 trades and you lost 5 trades too, okay. So let's see, your risk was risk to reward ratio was 1:2, okay, and you were not you had only you all your orders were in 20 pips stop loss, okay. So you were only allowing taking trades which were having stop loss of about 20 pips, okay. So that means you lost 5 orders among 10 orders, okay. So that means 5 times 20, you had 100 pips loss, okay. But remember, your risk to reward ratio is 1:2. Again, you had 5 pips in profit. That means you can take 5 times 40, okay, because your risk to reward ratio is 1:2, okay. So taking 5 times 40, you're going to get 200, okay. So that is profit, but our loss, because we lost the 5 trades, was 100, okay. So take 200 minus 100, you're going to get 100 pips. You can see, just because you had a good risk management skill, you lost 5, you lose 5, okay, you gain 5, but still you're in profit, 100 pips. Why? Because of that, what we call risk management principle. Your risk to reward ratio is 1:2, okay. You see, so even if your risk to reward ratio is 1:1, if you get 5 and lose 5, that means you're not going to be in loss, because you will be having 100 pips lost, 100 pips profit. That means if you have 100 pips as a loss and 100 pips as the profit, that means you take 100 minus 100, you get 0. That means you are not in loss or you're not in profit, okay. So that is why you have to use stop loss, okay. Sometimes people those who are, especially those who are using market makers method, what they do is swing trading, okay. If you are doing swing trading, as people believe there is no any importance of using stop loss, most of the swing traders. Why? Because they believe that they know they are doing day trading, okay, or swing. They believe that they know the direction of the market. It is upward direction, it is uptrend, and therefore using stop loss is whereby they are going to they are doing what we call stop hunting. They are stop hunting themselves, okay. So the market maker is going to see, they know that the trend of this day is upward, and they have seen that you have bought. That means you're in the right direction. So what are they going to do? They're going to manipulate. That's why most of the day traders, what they do, they don't set the stop loss. This can be advantageous too, because for day traders, they believe that at the end of the day they can have even 100 pips in a single order. So if they have 3 orders, they can have 300 pips, and they can make more than even that guy who was trading using those stop loss. And sometimes those new beginners, apart from using stop loss, still they cannot control their emotions. Okay, you find someone has maybe used a stop loss of 10 pips, but after the long movement of the market, you see your stop loss has been it is approaching to be hit. You find that person is changing the number of pips or his or her stop loss, and that is the reason why most of the people blow their account. Because if you are not able to control your emotion, that means that you're going to blow your account, you're going to blow your account, you're going to be manipulated by the market makers. Because sometimes you can find that candlestick is approaching to the stop loss, but it was just a trick of the market maker, so it is going to not going to hit there. Okay, so if you're just not able to control your emotion, that means you're going to be manipulated just easily. Okay, and that is not the same to the forex gurus who are able now to control their emotion. If you have just decided to put a 20 pips stop loss, that means you have to agree with what you have decided. Okay, so if you're not ready, that means you are still not able to control your emotions, and that is one of the reasons why most of the people lose in the forex market. So I think about your question on how is it preferably good to use your stop loss or not. I think I have answered your question. So it is about your knowledge. Okay, if you're not able to use a stop loss, that means in other ways you have your trading system. And if you're using stop loss, use it very carefully to avoid stop hunting. Okay, but also those who are not using, you have to know there is advantages. There is something we call paramount of using stop loss. If you are not using stop loss, be very careful, because it can happen one day blowing your account just in a single day. Because you will be telling yourself, you'll be telling your mind, okay, I think it will go to my direction, I think it will go back to the trend, and you find you're out of the trend the whole day, you're losing, you're blowing your account. Okay, so I can advise you start using stop loss, especially if you know how to use it. uh, it is not the matter of just saying 20 pips, it will be above 20 pips. No, you have to do analysis. At the end of the day, you're going to decide, will this candlestick go back and leave at the direction about 20 pips? If it is more than 20 pips, that order is not for you. Okay, that's why most of the time I advise people that one of the main difference between the forex pros and newbies is just the risk management skills. If you're not having enough sufficient risk management skills, you're going to lose. Okay, so thanks for listening. Make sure that if you're a new member of this channel, subscribe, like, comment, and share. My name is Frado FX. So for those who wants to join the VIP chat room, you can contact me through my email, that is fradofxacademy@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.